What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of GG Gaming. I'm your host, Andrew, and with me I have, for my co-host, PapaGenos!
Hey guys, PapaGenos here!
And today's Thursday, September 5th, while we're recording this. I want to try and say the date from now on, in case it doesn't go up the day recording, or for anybody who wants to go back and listen to an older episode for God knows why you would do that.
That was a good idea. Good idea to record the date.
Yeah. So, what have you been up to?
I just got back from being on vacation, and while on vacation, it seemed like Smash news and Nintendo news in general exploded. So that's been my last week here, and then most recently, of course, we just got Banjo, who came out. And Banjo's been one of my most wanted characters for Smash for a very, very long time. So the last, I stayed up till 3 in the morning playing as him, and I played him pretty much all day today. So that's been my last 24 hours.
Nice. Well, I mean, I spoke to you, so I know where you went. But for listeners, where'd you go on vacation?
Oh, I went to the beach with my family. Cape Cod specifically. I go there pretty often, about yearly. Me and my family take a trip there. So that's where I was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. So, for me, I just not really been doing much. Same old. I've been playing Pokemon Masters.
Oh, nice. I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, it's fun. It seems to be more collaborative game than a versus game. There really is no versus people online. It's more teaming up with people online to take on the AI. A couple of things are difficult. I gotta stop spending money on it, and because they have the new event with Blue, and
okay.
I spent some money, and I'm like, I don't want to spend any more money because I had that problem in other games, and I don't want to burn out with all the money spending. That's an issue I have with some mobile games, and
especially. How long have you been playing Pokemon Masters?
I don't know. Since it came out.
Okay. I just, me personally, I'm always, I've spent money on some mobile games before. I spent some money on Pokemon Go here and there. But I waited until after it was okay, I definitely like this game. I've definitely, put a lot of time into it. I'm just cautious about, because I've also gotten a game, been into it for 24 hours, spent some money on it, and then just fell off of it. So, yeah,
I have this mentality of if it's a free game and I'm enjoying it, I don't mind throwing down a few bucks. But exactly. I start to get upset at myself when I'm spending too much bucks.
Yeah, see, I'm the same way. I don't mind spending a little money on a game if it's impressed me. If the game has, if I'm you know what, if I had to pay this much money to get this game and I didn't pay anything to get the game, then yeah, I'm cool with that.
Right. Well, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about before jumping into the inevitable.
The big topic at hand.
Yeah. I'm excited for Monster Hunter. The Iceborne DLC is coming out tomorrow. And yeah, I'm pretty excited.
You know what's weird? I have a friend who's really into Monster Hunter, and he was just talking to me about this earlier today. He was saying how the Monster Hunter, I don't know if it's the YouTube channel, or I'm assuming it's the YouTube channel. I guess when they put up new videos, the video is just titled Monster Hunter. They didn't title it or something. He said it was really annoying, that he wants them to... Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe it's not the YouTube channel. Maybe it's somewhere else. But he was complaining something about how he was oh, cool, a new Monster Hunter video. And he's they don't tell you anything about it. It just says Monster Hunter. It's coming from Monster Hunter. So obviously I know it's something Monster Hunter. So yeah, I mean, this is just what I'm getting the second hand. So
wait, I'm not quite following. What do you mean something they just don't title their videos?
They don't title whatever the video or the news was, I guess. I don't know if maybe it was the Monster Hunter Facebook group, maybe it was the YouTube channel. I don't know what it was. I just had a friend earlier who was talking about the Iceborne DLC and said that whatever he was clicking on wasn't it didn't even say Iceborne. It just said Monster Hunter.
Oh, I don't know. Did it stay like that? I wonder if they fixed that.
I mean, I am passing along a complaint that isn't my own complaint.
I expect you to know.
You just jogged my memory on.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm excited for that, but I don't even know if I'm gonna really get to play tomorrow because I already have plans to see some friends. A friend of mine who moved to Chicago is visiting, and I haven't seen him in like a year. And he's back. He's back in town for like a week. I saw him the other day, but supposedly going to be getting together with him and another of our friends tomorrow for dinner. And we were going to go see It Chapter 2, but depending on the timing of, because I think he has something to do until like around 7. So I don't know what we're gonna do, like time wise, like schedule wise, but it sounds like we might wind up missing the movie just due to timing. So I'll probably go see it another time. But you know, so it sounds like my night is kind of busy tomorrow. So depending on when we split up, I may, start Iceborne tomorrow. But
gotcha. Yeah, I want to see it part 2 as well. I think does it come out today or tonight?
I think there's like a midnight release tonight, or some kind of release tonight. I think it's opening Thursday.
It's so weird. There's like midnight releases, or there was midnight releases, and now those have been like they're pushed back to just like the night before. Like so many theaters do it at like 9-10 o'clock because they don't want to be open till like 2-3 in the morning. So it's like whenever a movie gets a release date, it's like, okay, so it's the day before that. It's a very strange thing that's happened. It's like sneaked its way into the day before over time.
Speaking of Pokemon Go, I turned the game on earlier and I saw there was in my nearby list there was Turtwig, and it was in shadow, like as if I hadn't seen it before, and I caught it, Turtwig, before. So I'm wondering if there's some kind of event, kind of Turtwig or something. And someone in the Pokemon Go in my area Discord we have, they reported the same thing, and we haven't figured out what it was because I wasn't near it. So,
I mean, maybe it was like maybe it's a glitch, or like you said, maybe it's an event Turtwig, like it has like the Pikachu's past or whatever. I haven't
seen any reports of it. The only thing I could think of is that Turtwig is one of the new Shadow Pokemon for Team Go Rocket, but up until now, you've only been able to catch them after a battle with Team Go Rocket. They haven't been in the wild, so I don't know if they started appearing in the wild, or maybe it's a glitch, and maybe it's just a regular Turtwig. I don't know.
Yeah,
it sounds like it could be a glitch.
My guess would either be, like you said, they're going to start, putting the Team Rocket Shadow Pokemon out in the wild, or maybe it's just a glitch, and because of the Shadow...
There goes my dog barking. I'm sure you can hear it.
Maybe because of the Shadow Turtwig existing in the game, it's just glitching and saying like, "Oh, you don't have it yet" or something. Do you have the Shadow Turtwig yet?
No.
Okay, so well then maybe that's it.
Yeah, I don't know, but and also with Pokemon Go, they have the Jirachi quest going on now.
Yeah,
is available. So I'm up to the one where I gotta catch 50 Steel and Psychic type Pokemon. And right now I'm at 0 because, like I was telling you earlier, they have some kind of event where only Johto Pokemon are mostly showing up.
Yep.
There are some from other gens showing up too, but the majority of Pokemon showing up in the wild right now are from Johto. And there's not many Steel or Psychic. Well, there's Psychic Pokemon, but there's not many Steel Pokemon in Gen 2, even though that's what was introduced. How many Psychic type Pokemon are in Gen 2 now that I think about it?
Well, there's Unknown, but that's impossible to catch in Pokemon Go.
Rare. That's rare to show up to begin with.
Yes.
I'm sure
Girafarig.
Yeah. Is Stantler's normal, right? Because I've seen Stantler.
Yeah, I believe Stantler is normal. Pretty sure. Even though I think it has some weird, it hypnotizes you with its horns, I still think it's not actually psychic type. Um,
Because someone in my Discord group was telling me that
Natu and Datu are Gen 2. They're psychic. They're pretty common, too.
Oh, I have seen a couple of Natus pop up. I'm an idiot. I should catch them
Yeah.
when I see them. I'm
get.
just so used to not really caring because I'm just like, oh, there's Natu. It's a bird. I'm like, when I think of psychic, I don't really think of Natu, but
Right. Yeah,
I'm
I
an
agree.
idiot. I'm an idiot.
If you, yeah, I mean, pretty much the only steel that's, I think, Pokemon Go-wise, that you might be able to catch fairly common is Skarmory. Like, I think everything else from Gen 2 is, like, Scizor or Steelix, and you're gonna have to evolve for those.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they appear in the wild at all in Pokemon Go.
Skarmory does, uncommonly.
Yeah, he's not a... You're gonna find a ton of him, but you will see him if you're playing, so...
Oh, Skarmory, I'm really curious if Skarmory's gonna be like a Pokemon that's gonna show up in Sword and Shield as like not a major Pokemon in any way, but kind of like reflective. Oh, there goes the doggy again.
Of the new Pokemon, the Black Knight one?
Just reflective of the region because
Okay.
you know it's like Steel Swords kind of.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we can get some kind of like shield version of Skarmory as like an opposing.
I'm forgetting. I haven't memorized the names of the new Pokemon. What's the Raven, the like Black Knight bird?
Oh, I haven't really remembered all the new names yet.
Does it begin with a C and it's like something?
Corviknight.
Corviknight. That's it. Yeah.
That C helped me.
Because I could see them doing like Corviknight versus Skarmory, or like maybe there's a Night Trainer and he has a Skarmory and a Corviknight or something like that. Would be cool.
Yeah, I could see them using Skarmory in the game, in the region somehow, without making like a big deal of it. But you know what I mean, kind of.
Yeah,
like,
he fits. He fits
almost,
the theme.
yeah, he fits with the theme and the region.
Yeah.
So I guess since we're talking about Pokemon, we could start talking about the Direct a bit, because one of the things I want to say is, why curry over rice? Is that like a big thing in Britain, or okay, wait, hold on. Galar is based on Europe as a whole, or is it based on Britain, or is it based?
I think it's just the UK. It's either Britain or the UK or England.
Okay.
I mean, the differences between the UK, England, and Britain are...
Yeah. I'm a bit confused on that, too. I'm not very knowledgeable on what the differences between the UK and Britain.
I think Britain is its own thing, but the UK involves England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. Like, it's more of a collaboration of different places.
Like a collective of... Oh, God,
yeah.
But will not stop barking.
But they're pretty much the same... it's pretty much the same place. So whatever they're basing it on, they're in that area of the world. But the British Empire did have control of India for a while, and isn't curry really popular in India? So maybe that's what it is?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's... the British Empire had control of a lot of places, though, so I don't know.
I mean, curry over rice sounds delicious, but I just don't see it as a Galar thing. Like, malasadas, are they a Hawaiian treat?
I don't know. That I don't know.
I don't know.
But I'm guessing it had something to do with that, just because of the theme.
So, I'm surprised we still haven't gotten any evolutions yet of the starters.
I'm shocked. That was one thing I thought was almost a lock for this draft.
And we're at, what are we at now? 2 months away?
Yeah, we have 2 months to go. You could do the mid-evolutions and the final evolutions. So you can announce, you can have 2 more announcements. You can have another announcement after this one. But we're going to have 2 more, or they're going to announce them both at the same time. And,
or a Pokemon Direct.
Yeah, and you just think that, like, with all Pokemon Sword and Shield's gotten some fan backlash. You'd think something like, well, here's the starter evolution, something fans always love to see. You'd think they'd be trying to, get fans excited for this game, and I was just shocked they didn't do that.
I'm still excited for the game.
Me too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I'm still
but
excited.
I understand, and I understand. I don't know what the other word is I was trying to get at, but I understand why there's controversy, and I agree to an extent, but not completely.
Yeah, We don't need to open up that whole can of worms, but just from a marketing perspective with what's going on, I would think they would have tried to really, especially because this Direct was, it said that like underneath it was like the focus was on Pokemon Sword and Shield and Luigi's Mansion 3. And I didn't feel like this Direct was, I don't know if they said it was the focus, but they said it would include 2019 games such as those two. And so I assumed, we'd get a lot of Pokemon stuff, and I think we got just as much Animal Crossing as those other two, and Animal Crossing is in 2019. And with the Banjo thing at the end, Smash, extra thing with Sakurai, it's like I didn't feel like this was a Pokemon and Luigi's Mansion 3 themed Direct.
Pretty much.
If they'd given us the mid evolutions of the starters, I would have maybe felt like, okay, that was why they said that. They want us to. If you're a big Pokemon fan, you got to watch this one. But it was like only 2 Pokemon shown. And not the curry thing?
Well, they showed the new form of Alcremie, and they showed Poltegeist, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like him. I like him too. Yeah, the bird, bird that eats fish. Yeah,
I forget its name.
Yeah,
I still, I still don't know all the names yet of the new Pokemon. I'm still in the beginning phase of not knowing all the names yet, even when they've been told to me. Starts with a G, maybe?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Gala something? Gallivan?
Yeah, might have something to do with gulping or something.
Something I want to say. Did they just confirm that animals exist alongside Pokemon? Because there was a regular fish in its mouth.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing actually when I saw that. I'm wondering if that is a unannounced fish Pokemon though.
Yeah, me too.
Because there was a leak that had a bunch of stuff for Sword and Shield, and they had this bird Pokemon in the leak.
Fish Missile.
And they said that sometimes it'll pick up a Pikachu and throw the Pikachu.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so that was interesting. And I don't remember if it said that the fish Pokemon, or the fish that it got was just a fish, or if it was an unannounced fish Pokemon, or what.
I know it was the Pokemon
anime. Huh?
I think it just said fish.
Yeah, but I know from the Pokemon anime, occasionally they'd show underwater, and you'd see
fish,
kind of the silhouette of what looked like normal fish in the background, or you'd see birds flying against the sun, but you couldn't tell, is it a Fearow and a Pidgey? You can't tell. So it's always, or are there actual little tiny bugs, or is it just Pokemon bugs? It's a weird thing in the Pokemon world.
They showed bugs.
No, but how Misty's afraid of bugs? She just says bugs in general. She doesn't say bug Pokemon. I'm pretty sure she said bug.
I assumed bug Pokemon. But...
Yeah, or they call Pikachu a mouse Pokemon. So does a mouse exist? In the decks, I know they say something one of the Pokemon can do something as strong as a African elephant, which implies that Africa and elephants exist in Pokemon. So. Mm-hmm.
Was that
very, very confusing?
I remember that, but is that something that's been
retconned?
Retconned, or I don't know, because they mention actual places like China for Paris, I think, and I could understand places existing, but
animals.
They mention the animals, a couple of animals specifically, and
I think they just really don't want to address the fact that there's what the difference between Pokemon and animal is, and that you can capture Pokemon and battle them.
Then how do you know what's a Pokemon and what's an animal in that world?
Right, exactly. I think they just try to gloss over that fact as much as possible. So we'll see what happens with this pitch that catches. My guess is that it might be an unannounced Pokemon.
My guess is they're just going to ignore it.
Or they'll just ignore it. It's possible too.
Fish Missile. I know it. What is it? Gulp Missile?
Something like that.
But I like Fish Missile. Official.
Official, yeah.
Official! That's the name of the book.
Official. Yeah, they had camps in there as well, which was, I think that was also kind of leaked. Looked good. But didn't seem I don't know, nothing blew me away, Pokemon-wise. It was just kind of 2 Pokemon.
Well, I don't know if they've shown this already. They probably have. But at least now we know we're getting Eevee.
Yeah. I mean, it's always nice to see seeing some Pokemon, because it's
so,
can
we get a new Evolution?
That's a possibility. I remember
seeing a leak a quote-unquote leak that said that...
Fighting type?
No, it was saying that we'd get a Galarian Eevee, and that the Galarian Eevee will have separate evolutions than a regular Eevee. Which I was like okay and not okay with. I was like, I want like one Eevee that could turn into all the different types. But I can see them doing that. But the fact that we've seen a normal Eevee was like, maybe they won't do that.
Yeah, because you'd assume they'd do like this whole... If there's an Eevee with other branching evolutions, you'd think they would entirely focus on that is the Galar one, and you're not going to see the normal one.
I mean, that could still happen.
I think that leak was proven fake. Don't quote me on that, though. I remember reading that same one. I think your dog barking, my phone going off.
We're professional, folks.
Oh, yeah. I think the base Eevee was a fighting type Eevee. In that.
Oh, that does sound familiar.
Yeah. Phone's still going off. Hopefully somebody answers it.
Yeah. I think that was the same leak that I thought of, and I didn't like that idea because I like the idea of a type for each evolution.
I want to see Eevee get more type evolutions, definitely, but I don't want to see another Eevee get different. It's just a weird way to do it with what fans have wanted for so long. It's like if you branch it off and make the fighting type a base Eevee and it's a different one, it's like, you kind of wrecked it.
I'm still waiting for a normal type evolution, just called Eevee-on.
Yeah, it's like a big Eevee. That'd be cool.
I was kind of thinking that maybe they would do that with Gigantamax, but we saw a giant Eevee, so...
Yeah, so it probably doesn't have a special form.
Yeah. We do know now, I think I heard 16 forms of Alcremie.
Really? Okay, so that's going to have a lot.
I wonder if each one's going to... And I didn't read up on it, I just saw it mentioned in a tweet. I think Alpha Stoutland actually was talking to someone about it.
Oh, cool.
And so I just saw their response. But I'm wondering if they're going to have different types.
Yeah,
what is Alcremie? Is it fairy?
It feels like it should be fairy, but I don't remember. I have not, like, it's very obvious with how we're talking, I have not memorized anything much about Thornton. I usually, I'll follow, Pokemon speculation, but I don't memorize everything until after, I get the game, I play the heck out of it, that's when I get to know everything in the game.
And I still don't know everything, I'll blank on a couple of names,
I don't know.
Particularly the Komo family, I get confused which is which.
Yeah.
Jangmo-o, Komo-o, and something.
There were a bunch of Pokemon in, I think Gen 5 that I constantly forget the names of. I know them, but I forget the names.
Yeah. I love Gen 5. And we're finally getting into Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that's exciting. Pokemon Go is catching up finally, so that's cool. Getting closer anyway.
Halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my... I can't wait to see Galarian forms in Pokemon Go before we even get to that region.
Yeah, that's a possibility, because they did Meltan first and stuff. I could see Pokemon Go getting some... keeping up with the new...
So is Meltan part of Gen 8 or Gen 7?
I believe it's part of Gen 8, but I don't know. I don't think we know for sure yet, because Gen 8 isn't out necessarily yet, and I don't know if it's been classified which gen it's in, even though, if you're playing a Gen 7 game, it's at the end of the decks, but I think it's going to be the first Pokemon in Gen 8. Could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, I think it has a number after whatever in the last game.
Maybe it does make it Gen 7, because I don't know if they've ever done a gen that doesn't start with the, starter Pokemon. Like the fire, grass, and water starter.
I kind of took it as a tease of the next gen, and not a late entry to the previous gen.
Right, so that's what I was thinking too. So and I think they've shown some stuff with Meltan in Sword and Shield. I think there's carvings of it in the grass. So it looks like it's going to be important. So I would imagine would be part of that gen's dex.
Carvings in the grass?
Yeah. So I don't know. Will it be the first Pokemon
I don't think that makes
before
any
the
sense.
starters, or will it be later on? I don't know if it has a number.
Wait. Think about what you said. Carvings in the grass.
All right, it's like dirt mounds in the grass. I don't know. It's like on the side of a hill.
Just new chops.
Yeah, I don't know what to call. I don't know what to call that kind of art.
Yeah. Carvings in the grass. Grass carving. Anyway. So I don't know what else they mentioned about it.
Yeah. Oh, customization. Trainer customization got confirmed. Oh, yeah. It actually looks good. If I were to give Pokemon Sword and Shield anything that I've seen that I've been like, yes, that looks exactly how I want it. You can change your face, you can change your hair, change the outfit. It looked like very in-depth customization. Because I always hated okay, you can pick 4 skin tones and 4 hair colors, and then you can change your clothes. But it's Pokemon, you should. Customizing your own trainer it's such a good idea, such an obvious idea. It's yes, that should be a big part of Pokemon games, or an easy thing to add. So
yeah, I agree. I'm wondering. I saw the makeup being adjusted. I don't know how detailed they're going to get the faces.
I thought I saw a screen that had multiple faces to choose. I thought. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I saw something like that.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll have to rewatch. I've only I watched the Direct once the first time through. I watched the Sakurai Banjo presentation twice. And the Pokemon thing was in the thing I only watched once, and then I've just been playing Banjo so much I have not had a chance to usually go back and I rewatch a Direct, or I watch the games I specifically wanted to hear more about.
I saw your
Pokemon thing once through.
I watched the parts of your reaction for Smash.
Yeah.
So who was the guy that was with you? I don't think you even introduced him.
Oh, I introduced him in the live stream, but I probably didn't introduce him in the reaction video. We were streaming for a half hour before that. Okay. That is, he's been on the channel before, a year ago though. He is a buddy of mine. He goes by Farrell online. His real name's Jesse. My real name is Brandon, for people who want to know. Yeah, I know, right? We used to work at a retro video game store before it closed down, 2 years ago now, actually. But we worked there for 5 years together, and he's just very knowledgeable about games, good friend of mine, so yeah, that's who that was.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So Smash. Do
you want to do Smash? Or do you want to go over other games? Because I just feel like Smash is such a big.
I know. I'm trying to think of what else was in the Direct, and my brain kept going to that.
Yeah, I mean,
I can't think. There was other stuff in the Direct, obviously, but I can't really think of anything else from the Direct that's
really worth talking about here.
I'm surprised we didn't get Bayonetta 3 information.
I was surprised a lot of information didn't happen, but this was they titled this Direct as a 2019 titles focused Direct,
and for Switch too, I think.
Yeah, Switch focused Direct.
Because they didn't talk about any mobile stuff.
No, there's no.
And I think Mario Kart came out, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's out yet or if it's coming out. I think it might be out. I think it did come out actually. But yeah, they didn't mention that. So this was just Switch titles, and mostly, I mean, they talked about Animal Crossing, which is 2020.
Oh yeah, I am looking forward to that.
Yeah, same here. But it got pushed back, so I guess maybe they counted it as a 2019 title to talk about. Luigi's Mansion, they just showed a little bit more gameplay, one new mode. It's not too much.
I am a little excited for Luigi's Mansion 3, but I haven't played 1 and 2, and I feel like I should play those before playing 3. I'm the type of person who wants to play things chronologically, which is why I'm excited that they're releasing the definitive edition of Xenoblade Chronicles, because I always want to play that first before 2, and I always want to play 2.
They're very disconnected, so you can play 2 without playing 1.
I know, but I felt like I should. The same with Dragon Quest. I'm playing. Yeah. I started with 1, and I'm going through them. And I just feel like I should play with the first title. It's called that. So
Yeah.
Which I've been playing Dragon Quest 6, and I'm stuck on the last boss. I'm grinding for it. I really didn't do too much grinding in this game until the end game, where I got to the final boss, and he destroyed me in like 2 turns. And I was about level 37, 38, and I was looking online, like, what level should you be to fight the final boss? And someone was like, 40 is pushing it, and 50 is overkill. I was like, well, I guess I need to level up. So I'm trying to hit like 45 with my guys.
Cool.
Or taking them on again.
My friend Jesse, who was in my reaction video there, his favorite Dragon Quest is 6. So
I was gonna say, this is one of my favorite Dragon Quests so far. Out of 1 through 6, this might be my second favorite. Almost tied with my favorite, which is 3.
Cool.
So I'm really loving 6, and that's like an unpopular opinion. I don't know why.
I'm not sure. I mean, we got Solo, I think is the name of the guy from 6. We got him in Smash, so
he's from
as
4.
one of the alts. So
Solo is from 4. He's not from 6.
Oh, 4. Oh, okay. No, you're right. My bad. Okay, let me re-correct myself then. I see. This is how amateur I am with Dragon Quest. No, my friend's favorite is 4. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I mean, none of them are.
Minute.
If I were to rank 1 through 6, the ones that are on the bottom are not bad. Like, they're all good games.
Yeah.
But like the ones that I like are obviously I like more. So I feel bad when I say, "Oh, I like this one more than this," because it sounds like I don't like the one that I, ranked lower. But that's not true at all. I love all the Dragon Quests that I've played so far. So like 4 for me might be a bit lower in the ranking, and I still think Solo's cool. But for me, I just like the games that I like more are like, yes.
I haven't played any. I mean, I can't say I haven't played any of them. I've dabbled a bit in like the first one. I played a little bit of 8, but I have not, beaten any Dragon Quest games or really gotten into the series. So this is just what my friend liked 4. I can't really have a strong opinion on any of them.
So I ordered 7 on Amazon, so I'm hoping that I beat the final boss before I get it.
Cool.
And I think that's supposed to be the longest one, or one of the longest ones, sitting at like over 100 hours for the main story. And they've been, I think 5 or 6 might be the one I spent the most hours on so far, at like 50. And I'm like, Jesus, how am I gonna play? How am I gonna play 7?
Jeez. So I'm trying to think what else was in the. Super NES. Super NES coming to Nintendo Online. That was cool.
Now, did you play the NES on Switch online?
Yeah, a little bit.
Do you? How does that work? Because I never actually I have the online membership. I just never played the Nintendo Online thing. Is it? Do you download the games and you have them to play, or is it like a rental service, or how does it work?
No. It's just an icon on your Switch, and I think you I don't know if you have to download I don't remember if I got it instantly when I got online, or if I had to download like the NES. I forget, but you just basically click on this little icon on your Switch, and then it just brings you to a menu of a bunch of games. And you just pick one, and then the game just starts up, and you can you can return to like the home menu. I think there's like some like pausing, kind of save state type stuff going on. But otherwise, it's just the NES games. But when you click on it, it's just a big library of games. They do have there's one weird thing that they do where there's like some of the games have like the normal game, and then there's like I forget what they do. It's like a Nintendo ribbon is on the game. I forget what it says, like SP or something on it. And those ones are, I forget exactly what's going on. I only clicked one once and was like, this isn't the normal game. And then I was like, oh, okay, it's some like extra thing. I don't know if it's like a harder version or like you're timed or something. It's like they have some special versions of the games. You have the normal version, but there's like some. I'm talking like out of thin air here because I really don't know. I haven't really played them, but they have that. But otherwise, it's just the games. And then every time they add games, when you go back into it, when they've added some games, it's like new titles have arrived, and there's gift wrap over some squares, and you go up to them and you open them up, and it just has the other games. So I'm assuming the Super NES will be the same.
So I have a concern that when you play a game, and then if you ever cancel your membership, you no longer have access to the game.
I'm assuming you don't. As far as games that save, I have no idea. These are NES games, so very few of them that I think are on there can save. I mean, you can save them, save states and stuff, but traditionally, I think there's Zelda's on there. Can't think of any others off the top of my head that you can save.
And that's
I don't
what
know
kind of
what
bothers me.
I
I wouldn't want to play a game for the first time on there, or almost I wouldn't want to play a game on there if I have the option to play it elsewhere, because I wouldn't want to lose it if I decide to cancel my membership one day. It kind of banks on the fact that you are indefinitely paying, right. And as long as the service is up, even as much as people disliked having to download games over and over again for the Wii and the 3DS and not being able to share data across the systems, at least if you downloaded it, it saved it on your
home
system.
menu.
Yeah, and you can play it whenever. But that's what I don't like about this service, assuming that's how it works, is that I guess I don't.
You definitely don't. Yeah, I'm pretty positive you.
It's
do
basically like a Blockbuster app.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
you're renting games.
It's like having Netflix or something. It is definitely not I stopped doing Switch Online, so all the games that were available to me up until that point are still available to me. It's definitely just you're paying for online, so you have access to this library of games. So it's different. It's a different idea. My biggest concern would be losing actual saves and stuff, though. I'm thinking about PokeBank, and I haven't renewed my PokeBank probably in over a year at least. So I'm hoping all those Pokemon are still on there now that I'm thinking of that.
I think they mentioned that they save it up to a certain point, and I don't remember.
I think it's something hopefully years, or it's saved to your account, and it's just whether or not you have access to it. So I don't know. Hopefully PokeBank's saved, because now I'm thinking I'm probably going to go renew that before Sword and Shield and Pokemon Home happens.
And you won't even... Hopefully you'll even be able to transfer those Pokemon.
You can transfer... Well, yeah, I don't know if I can transfer them to Sword and Shield, but Pokemon Home said it would work with PokeBank, so...
But we don't know what Pokemon Home is yet.
Not entirely, but it definitely is an upgraded PokeBank, because you're able to put Pokemon from Pokemon Go, Pokemon from PokeBank, Pokemon from...
But you can't take them out of Home unless it's
I thought you could
Shield, right?
I'm pretty sure you could transfer them between things. Maybe it's only pushing them up to Sword and Shield, but or up to future stuff. I thought you could just transfer between everything. Obviously not, new Sword and Shield Pokemon to old games, but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Regardless, I want to move. If the Pokemon games are going to continue forward, and I want to be able to move my Pokemon forward, I think I'm going to have to do PokeBank to Home. And I'm also wondering, will I have to pay for a year's subscription to PokeBank?
Well, it's $5 for a year.
Yeah, it's not bad, but do I have to pay for that and buy Home just to move everything from PokeBank to Home? It's a little confusing to me.
Probably.
Yeah, I probably will. They're going to double dip with a lot of people. Oh well.
Yeah.
Because it's do I want to buy a year subscription to PokeBank if I'm only renewing it? I'm not going to use it that whole year. I'm just renewing it so I can move everything forward.
True.
Weird, but I don't know any way around it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. That makes me think of future games. Do you think that when we get, hopefully, a remake of Diamond and Pearl, do you think we're going to have a wild area?
I hope so. I mean, personally, I'm waiting for the Pokemon series to a remake of Diamond and Pearl would be neat, but I feel like a remake of Diamond and Pearl is going to be, more of this, what we keep getting with Pokemon games. I really want them to totally mix it up. I want them to go back to the drawing board and give us a completely new conceptual game mechanic wise Pokemon game. So that's what
I
I'm
think
hoping
that's
for.
where
I don't know if
spin-offs come in.
Yeah. I mean, or just try something new. I mean, Pokemon Go was huge, and it was trying something new. So I feel like Pokemon Company should do more creative things like that with the games. So that's just my thoughts.
Yeah. So what else was in that direct?
Animal Crossing, but
Well, you mentioned it, but
they showed quite a bit of Animal Crossing. It wasn't really anything too new. I mean, they showed like the phone, but it was mostly stuff we had seen in that reveal trailer. Just like now they're saying like you can put furniture outside. We saw furniture outside before. Now they've actually said it, so feels like a long wait till March.
Oh, yeah.
So.
The Nook phone looked like it might be a neat new take on just like keeping track of everything.
Yeah, I always thought the what do I want to call it, the menu system in Animal Crossing, like where I pick something up and then I have to I have to move bells into an item spot. Like it's very tedious. So if the Nook phone is like streamlining the menu system, I'm very happy about that, because that felt archaic. It's kind of like Pokemon when like for a long time Pokemon had the PC system.
Yeah.
It was like, do you want to open up your PC or do you want to go to your PC? It's like, of course I want to go to the Pokemon one.
What do you think I want?
Yeah,
it's like, I just want to stand here and stare at the menu.
And then it was so slow. The first, I mean, trying to replay like Red and Blue, the menu system is the biggest hurdle for me. And then it took them a while to like cast. I mean, we still have it, but it's like it's much quicker. Everything's much faster. But before you had to go into like deposit was different than withdrawal. Like it was so much just to do what you want to do.
I wonder why they even decided to make deposit and withdrawal separate.
I'm assuming in the early Game Boy days it was like they had to, or whatever.
Do you think it was a limitation with coding on the Game Boy, or do you think that they just didn't think it mattered at the time because there was no like comparison?
I think it was probably a little bit of both of that. I think Game Freaks was a very young company. I think like somebody probably could have programmed onto the original Game Boy a better transferring system. But I think just the coding to Red and Blue is a little messy as is. I know even Gold and Silver, Iwata had to step in and like fix a lot of the coding so they could make a better game with it. So I imagine they probably just got tangled up in the coding and just did it the easiest way they could do it, which involved not bringing you to a menu that let you withdraw or deposit from that menu for whatever reason.
I'm considering playing those games on the like what was it, the 3DS? They had them on it. I was thinking of playing it on them so I can use the glitches to catch Pokemon that I'm obviously never going to get a hold of, because
it was so cool they kept the glitches in.
Yeah, so because like I don't really know anybody who has those games on their 3DS, so I'm not going to really be able to trade Pokemon with them.
Right.
So to have the ability to just get any Pokemon, it's kind of like playing the game your own way, and I kind of want to do that and get Mew stuff, but I'm also not sure if I want to play through such a slow-paced menu.
That's
when I'm still playing other games too,
Yeah, no, it's the biggest hurdle for me, because I do love those games, like even just the old graphic art style of the original Pokemon. Yeah. But it is like the daunting thing that I just don't want to do is like, it's so slow with the menus, I won't play it.
Yeah, and I could probably get over it, but I'm also replaying like all the Dragon Quests, and there are other games I want to play, like Monster Hunter Iceborne coming out, that it's not a priority. So like, it's such a shame, because there's so many games I want to play that I'm just never gonna play. Or replay, for that matter.
Yeah.
So, was it Daemon X Machina? Is that out?
I don't remember. I'm not like super into it, so I wasn't paying too much attention. I don't think it's out. I think maybe it's coming out. Don't quote me. Not sure.
Is it that or a different game I'm thinking of that's like number one in the UK right now?
I don't know. Deadly Premonitions 2 got announced, and I think the first one was immediately released for Switch. So
was that ever a physical game, or was that always like a digital game?
And I don't know anything about it.
Unsure. Yeah, I don't know too much about Deadly Prey. I played it, but I don't even recall. I don't recall what I played. I think I played a friend's. I don't know. Trying to think of what else was in there before we jump into Smash, but we may have exhausted everything.
Yeah, we may have.
Luigi's Mansion looks cool. I like the floors. There wasn't too much said about it though.
Yeah. I like the idea of like a different theme on each floor. It's a hotel, I think, right?
Yeah. So,
but it's still a mansion.
Yeah, it's a big like
hotel.
Yeah, it's a big like goofy mansion hotel. It's like it looks like a bunch of different houses on top of each other. So
yeah, it looks more like a giant castle.
Yeah.
To have like all of Egypt on a floor.
Yeah, the disco floor. I saw gameplay of like a garden area, and it looked really cool. There's like a big vine grew, and oh man, I like that.
So it's Resident Evil 2.
Yes. I like that Luigi's Mansion, like, it goes outside of the box as far as Mario games go, because so many Mario games just do, like, and I like this as well, like, I like, nostalgia stuff, so I like going back to stuff, but so many Mario games do the same enemies and stuff, and Luigi's Mansion really does different, interesting themes, different enemies, it's very...
a spin-off, right? So
yeah.
They probably decided to experiment.
Yeah, they just feel more liberated with what they put in a Mario title with the Luigi Mansion one. So
what about cool. The enemies from Mario 2 that was from Doki Doki Panic originally?
Yeah,
have they appeared in Mario games? I don't recall. Like Shy Guys, are they regular enemies?
Yeah, so they've kind of moved them around. Like the bombs started there, and they've moved the bombs forward. Shy Guys, Shy Guys don't show up too often in Mario games, but they show up in Yoshi games. I think they kind of push them into Yoshi games.
That sounds right.
But they'll show up in some, like they'll show up in like spin-off Mario games, like I think the Mario like RPG style games will have like Shy Guys snippets and stuff. So they'll move them around. They're definitely, Shy Guys in like Mario Party games, Mario sports games, racing games, so they're definitely part of Mario. Do
you think we'll ever get? I don't want to go on a tangent. Because I was thinking about when you said like the Yoshi games, Mario games. I was thinking of like Super Nintendo games, like Yoshi's Island, and I was wondering, going back to the SNES online thingy. Do you think that they're going to actually release games to buy and download, or do you think they're going to stick to this rental system?
I don't know. I mean, we have the NES, and it's been out for a full year. Now they're going to do Super Nintendo. I would rather them let me buy old games.
They should be the option. Like, do you want to rent games for free? Or, like, if you like it, it's like, hey, do you like this game? Do you want to buy it, kind of thing,
Yeah, and have it for good, and then potentially make the library bigger. But I'm hopeful that after.
I was thinking that because I was thinking of Super Mario RPG.
Yeah,
we were talking about, because you mentioned like the RPG, and that's why I was trying to remember, like, why did I tangent to that?
I'm hopeful that they do. So we're getting Super NES, and I'm hopeful that they continue to do like N64. GameCube. If it is just this rental service, I do hope that they don't cap it at just like, it's just NES and Super NES because they're super retro. Like, I hope they continue to give us further stuff. And one of the big problems with like virtual console stuff was that they'd slowly trickle out games, and by the time we got to an okay point of like what games are on there, like the system was dead and they've moved on, and it was like, why didn't you just give us all the games at once? Or have a big, like, you own the games, just put them up to download, like, or have big updates with lots of games. I don't know. It's just, it's unfortunate. On the Mario 2 note, though, there are some enemies that are like stuck there. Like, actually, Wart, who was shown in the Link's Awakening trailer, because Wart shows up in Link's Awakening.
That was also in the direct.
That was the other thing. Yeah, they just showed more of it, but yeah, Wart showed up in that. Wart's kind of stuck. He hasn't been in anything else for Mario. There's a few that, like, three-headed snake guy who's pretty cool. I forget his name. There's definitely stuff they could pull from Mario 2 or Mario USA, Doki Doki Panic, whatever, that they haven't.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame that like a lot of these companies just decide to keep good things lost. They're like, yeah, this doesn't represent us in the present, so.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. Companies like how much fans would want like the companies to touch certain characters and certain things that they just for whatever reason refuse to, and it's like, why?
We talk about that pretty often, actually.
Yep. So, I guess we can start Smash. I can't think of any. But after Link's Awakening, I don't think there's anything else that was super. I mean, there was other games, but nothing major that we haven't already said. I don't think.
Well, I guess if we can't remember it, it's not something we're dying to talk about.
Yeah, or if we think of it,
yeah,
feel free to interject.
So do you want to start off the Smash because you had your video on Smash News and
sure,
I feel like you can intro it.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so there was like I won't get too into my own personal details here.
Yeah, for all the details, you can check out PapaGenos' video. But
yeah,
a little bit of a, I guess, a little clip thing. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
I did like almost like a timeline. Like I kind of expressed exactly what had happened because I was on vacation when some big Smash leak news happened. So I did a small short video just saying what the main general leak was, and then had to wait till I got back like night before the direct to give my like full assessment of everything that was going on. But essentially what had happened was a copyright showed up on Nintendo's website for the next Smash character being from the company SNK, and lo and behold, in the direct we got an SNK character. We got Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury King of Fighters, so that was totally right. I made a video right before that I was just talking about, and the video was titled "The Final Two like DLC or something like that, and it was Terry Bogard and Ryu Hayabusa, but that was only if Terry's trailer matched this one certain leak that was the Ken and Incineroar. It was like a sequel to the Ken and Incineroar trailer. That's what the leak was saying it was going to be, and that's not what we got. So I do not think. I mean, Ryu Hayabusa could be the final DLC, or the final Fighter Pass character rather, but we do not know for sure. And then we also got announced that there's going to be more DLC after the Fighter's Pass. So my video titled "The Final DLC" is not even, totally done. Not true at all. So, yeah. So I was
lie.
Oh yeah, total lie. So Terry was correct, but the rest of the speculation involved in that video probably all dead now, and everybody's back on the table. It is super exciting. Literally, I feel like every single character is now once again possible.
Yeah, I feel like after this Fighter Pass, anyone who was a spirit can be a character.
Definitely.
Because, as we've spoken about before in the past, we were both under the impression or assumption that, whether it's true or not, I think we both kind of agreed that what they probably were doing based on the way things lined up timeline-wise was they probably might have had some DLC in mind towards creating the spirits, and they probably figured these characters, like such and such character, isn't gonna be playable, so we'll make them a spirit. Because at the time that Sakurai said that the DLC list was, I guess, already chosen, it sounded like it was done so early on, and let's say, for example, if Banjo-Kazooie are part of the Fighter Pass and they were decided upon so early on, it sounds like they had a good idea of the DLC early on. Oh, what I was going to say, I was trying to remember where I was going with Banjo-Kazooie, because when Microsoft had that meeting with Nintendo, and a lot of people were assuming that they probably could have been discussing like Banjo for Smash, and so it sounds like if that's true, during like that E3 from a year or so ago, I think it was last year, they will probably finalized the spirits and the DLC around the same time, so they probably were not going to overlap any. But now that we're getting DLC after the fact,
I can see them dipping into spirits. Maybe not assist trophies yet. If we do get an assist trophy playable, then that just really opens doors. But I'm kind of leaning towards thinking maybe we can see a spirit playable, but maybe not an assist trophy. So I think that they're really starting to almost like hint at stuff. What I was talking with Alpha, and the reason Alpha is out this week is because he's getting hit by that hurricane. He's in hurricane path.
Yeah.
So I told him, yeah, that's important. Stay safe. He had a lot to prep for that. But I was talking with him, and I was like, dude, assuming we get one indie rep, even if if we're gonna get an indie rep. And if it's only one, and that's already a lot of assuming, but like a lot of people are like, "Oh, this one's the indie rep. This one's the indie rep." So if we're assuming that there will be and only one indie rep, I feel like they just deconfirmed Sans, and they already deconfirmed Shovel Knight because he was assist trophy, and I feel like we're getting closer and closer to the possibility of Shantae being playable, and. If she doesn't, then she doesn't. I've been let down by that before, but I feel like it's much more of a possibility now because even in the customization, there's a lot of Shantae images in the stage. That's what the stage creation. The stage creation that people upload their stages. There's a lot of images of Shantae. And of course, there's JoJo and Luigi. But I feel like Sakurai probably knows that she's a highly requested indie rep. And for him to say that he wants to put in Sans too, because I guess a lot of fans requested him, he must know that Shantae is being highly requested as well. And I guess that means he's still looking at what's being requested. So that makes me hopeful for other characters as well, not just Shantae. Like, maybe we'll see Gino, Like, maybe we'll see... I really want to see Skull Kid, but he's an assist trophy, so I don't know what they're going to do with that. But
So, here's my thoughts on it. And I basically, like, Sakurai said something to the effect of, he wants to do further characters because he thinks, for one, this game might be the only chance to have all these characters in one place.
Which is sad, but awesome.
Yeah, it's sad, but also I'm so glad he's recognized that because so many people were like, I've seen people do like theory rosters for the next Smash game, and I'm like, I'm not even interested. Like,
I don't want a new Smash after this.
Yeah,
I feel like he knows that too.
Right.
I wonder if he's kind of trying to make this his last Smash game, but it sounds like he would be down for a new Smash game, but
I would much rather, and I'm so glad that this Direct basically had him, say those sentiments. I'd much rather, if we get another Smash game, make it years from now, do Ultimate, really focus on it, continue Ultimate forever would be my dream. But
yeah,
anyway, I'm glad Sakurai's on board with that side of the argument here.
I mean, Melee survived for so long and still is going in some tournaments, right? So yeah. I think Ultimate is gonna be like the next Melee in terms of sticking around for a long time. Not necessarily in terms of being on equal footing, competitively, but just in terms of like sticking around. Like, I think if we're not getting all these characters or most of these characters back in the future Smash game, I'm probably going to still play it.
Exactly. So I'd rather him continue to give us DLC than go work on another Smash game. Like, and I'm glad he feels the same way.
And I feel like he probably agrees. One, because it's new content and he's not remaking old characters again for a new system. Because for some reason, they always remake the character. Like, I don't care if you port over the assets; it's already good.
Exactly. But, just keep this. I mean, there's no reason to port everything and start from scratch somewhere. Like, just continue. Just keep going.
And I wonder if he feels like making a new Smash game is kind of like throwing out what he worked on, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent it is, right? I mean, because it's starting over. But I'd rather see him make more characters, and again, so glad that is his sentiment on things, that he feels that way. But as far as which characters we can get now, I agree with you on the whole thing about that the DLC was probably chosen around the same time the base game was being made, so they were probably going, okay, these are the 5 characters we're going to do for sure, or 6 if you count Piranha Plant, and so we're not going to make them spirits, we're not going to put them in the game in any way, we'll do them for DLC, and then some other characters that were, maybe if we do more DLC, maybe if we don't, they made them spirits and stuff. I do think it's possible to get an upgraded assist trophy character. I just think that it would be breaking, not a rule, but, Sakurai constantly breaks fan rules. Mm-hmm. So I could see it happening. Yeah, there's always we just got Grant Kirkhope did a remix for Banjo. There's been no Western composers in Smash yet. Things initially no third parties, Snake and Sonic. Then it's no Western characters, and we get Banjo. It happens all the time.
The Smash as a series has evolved from Nintendo All-Stars to Gaming All-Stars.
Right. So I could totally see, assist trophies deconfirm, or spirits deconfirm, that gets broken, the spirit gets upgraded now. I could see assist trophies can't be upgraded, one gets upgraded. I really think we are completely open for anything. I do think there are levels of likeliness, though. So
I agree.
I agree with what you're saying about Shantae. I think spirits are in a great spot to get upgraded past this, this Fighter's Pass.
Technically, spirits get upgraded into stronger spirits anyway.
Well, upgraded into playable fighters is probably way more likely than getting an assist trophy upgraded. Conversely, I also think that Mii costumes that were added after the base game are more it's all about at what point in development things were being talked about behind the scenes. So if Sakurai has decided, let's say, 6-7 months ago, okay, after this Fighter's Pass, I'm going to do more DLC characters, then he probably wouldn't have given us Sans as a Mii costume. He would have waited, So
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so I'm guessing Sans was probably deconfirmed by the Mii costume, but not necessarily deconfirmed, because it's also possible that Sakurai had the Sans costume ready to go and is now just deciding spur of the moment, you know what, I'm just going to continue to do DLC. So it's all very up in the air, and I really do think literally any character is back on the table, there's levels of likeliness.
I wonder who approached who. I wonder if Nintendo said, Sakurai, you can either make a new Smash or make more DLC, or maybe Sakurai was you know what, I want to make more DLC because I want to keep making money. I wonder what the business decision behind that was. I know on the outside it's more DLC means more money, yes, but I really wonder what the decision what the process of that decision making was.
So, and that's another thing where we don't know. Maybe Sakurai, before the base game was even out, Sakurai said, we'll give him a Fighter's Pass, and then I'll announce more DLC to get him hyped. Or did they do the Fighter's Pass, and it sold so well that Nintendo has told Sakurai,
could be anything.
More DLC. Or was it Nintendo just said, let's just do a Fighter's Pass? Sakurai said, cool, we'll just do a Fighter's Pass. And it both sold very well, and Sakurai has decided, man, if I do another Smash game, I'm not going to be able to make it as good as this one.
Yeah.
Instead of making another Smash game, I'd rather personally just make more characters for this one. I don't know what is happening behind the scenes, but some perfect storm of all that happened, and we're getting more, so it's awesome.
Whatever happened initially, I think, has led to Sakurai concluding, this is going to be my magnum opus for Smash.
Exactly.
This one I'm going to... Because I already got this far. I got everyone back. Everyone is here. I'm probably never going to be able to do this again with the amount of content that's in it. The only chance to have something even better is if I keep working on this one. And I feel maybe he has thought to himself, you know what? I'm just going to do as much as I can for this one. And I don't know where that I don't know what that does for a future Smash game, what they'd have to do to make it different enough to stand out on its own.
Right, and the whole thing with a future Smash game is like, does it even appeal to anyone? Like, does it appeal to Sakurai? Does it appeal to the fans? It doesn't. Like, add more to
the
this
only
one
thing I could
does.
think of is if somebody else took over.
Yeah.
But even still, like, what's the point?
Right.
You know? This is kind of like the Street Fighter 2 of Street Fighter. Like, in terms of, like, it's not the latest, but it's the one people keep going back to.
Right.
If it is Street Fighter 2, I think there was a Street Fighter that was, like, one that people kept going back to. It might be
2 is very popular and has, like, all the Street Fighter 2 Turbo, which was... You know, they didn't have DLC back then, so it was like they just make another version of the game with more characters. So.
I will say, though, that I would be disappointed if characters that were highly requested were saved for a future game. I'd be like, now Banjo can't fight Geno because, like, Banjo's an ultimate. And
he didn't come back the next game.
Yeah.
And see, I feel like they're not going to save characters. I feel like that might have also been in discussions behind the scenes. Like, maybe initially it was like, we're going to do these 5 characters as a fighter pass. And maybe Sakurai wanted to do more for the fans. I mean, Nintendo was like, well, we'll see how it sells. And it sold really well.
See how it sells. What do you think?
Sometimes...
They probably had an idea from the Wii U era, but the Wii U didn't sell as much as the Switch.
True.
So, maybe...
Yeah, it's possible the DLC is selling much better than the Wii U DLC.
Yeah.
And it might just be, I mean, sometimes marketing is that, you know, marketing and finances are that tone deaf to what's really going on. And it has sold well, and they've maybe greenlit, maybe Sakurai the whole time has wanted to do more DLC, but now he's gotten the green light after selling so much of the Fighters Pass to just keep going with it. And there was that whole thing about Nintendo choosing the Fighters Pass characters, or they gave a list and Sakurai got to choose them. So I'm thinking after this Fighters Pass, it's like, I think Sakurai is much more open to go get whoever he wants. And he also mentioned he wants to please the fans. So I do think fan characters, you know, characters fans want, like Geno, Shantae, Sora, are much more likely for Sakurai to actually go the extra mile and try to get them for us. So
I think that not only that, but there's if the future DLC is not fighter passes, but just random sprinkles of DLC whenever they kind of feel like it,
which it might be. It might only be like a character a year, 2 characters a year. Maybe it's another Fighters Pass. We don't know yet, but it might be, like you said, just random, which is fine.
But I also feel like with that in mind, it might somehow be easier to get a hold of some harder to get characters, maybe? Like for example, Sora, he already knows in his mind now, like, I'm not gonna top this game. So, I can reach out to whatever, and the fans already know that said character I get might not be in the next game. Like, there's no like, hidden disappointment. Like, he knows people are probably going to be disappointed, and he will too. So, it's kind of a matter of, like, let me just go all out. Like, let me reach out to whatever now.
He's not beholden to the idea that if he gets this character, fans are going to be disappointed that they don't come back. Like, he got Cloud for Smash Wii U, and now he doesn't have to worry about, like...
Well, technically, I mean, he knows we will be disappointed.
Right.
But he knows that we know.
But just
like,
opening
we're
it up
all on the same page now.
Right, yeah, exactly. He's acknowledged that the next Smash game won't be able to do that, so he's just going to continue this one as long as he possibly can. So if he gets someone like Sora, he doesn't have to worry about, like, should I even try to get Sora because I'm not going to be able to get Sora again? Or if the negotiations are so tough to get Sora, I know I'm never going to be able to get it again, so maybe I shouldn't even do it for Smash because fans, it's just going to eventually disappoint fans.
I wonder if he's ever had that mentality.
He very well might have, but I think that is out the window now, and he will probably just try to get whoever he can for the, like you said, magnum opus
for
Smash.
This Smash.
Yeah.
Like, I think his focus, where, you know, it might or might not have been like this in the past, but maybe his focus in the past was, you know, how can I build up to another Smash game later on, which I don't necessarily think it ever was, because I think he always was under the impression of this is my last Smash, but maybe in the back of his head he always thought to himself, like, how am I going to top this, this? And I think the difference now is I'm not going to top this.
Right, so the idea of trying to save something to top it for later, it's not there at all. So he can just go all out, literally all out, do his absolute best. Not that he didn't go all out before, but
no,
like,
right.
yeah.
But
yeah,
I think
I think we understand what we're saying.
Yeah. With that said, though, like, what are your expectations?
So, like I said,
Do you think we'll see? I mean, just to add on to what are your expectations? Do you think we'll continue to see more, or indefinitely more third-party characters? You think we're going to see some Nintendo characters thrown in as DLC? I know, like, he wanted, or maybe he wanted to put in Rex and Pyra at one point, and then it was too late. So, like, do you think he's gonna not backtrack, but like go back to characters that were too late to put in, but he wanted? So, like, do you think he might want to put in Rex and Pyra, even though they're Nintendo characters and not third-party characters? Like, what are you expecting now from the future of this Smash?
So, like I said, I really do think everybody's back on the table, and it's all about timing behind the scenes of when he's choosing these DLC. But if he continues to choose DLC into next year, into 2021, like, let's, we have an indefinite amount of DLC characters at this moment, then yeah, someone like Rex could get in the game because he said, I wanted to do him, but it was too late in development. And now it's like, I feel like things have changed. I feel like there was a plan, and now there is a more open plan. So everyone is now back, choosable again.
As far as we know.
As far as we know, yeah. So that's my thoughts on it. Is that
for all we know, there could be the same list, and Nintendo's like, choose more from this list.
That is possible too. We
really don't know.
We really don't know for sure. But as far as like what I'm going to speculate about, what could happen here, it really is completely open. So, even though Sakurai said I couldn't get Rex in this game, which pretty much made everybody go, okay, well, he's not even going to be DLC. I feel like now, yeah, he could be DLC. It definitely could happen. So, yeah, it's crazy to think about that everybody's back on the table, but that is where I'm going with it. As far as what I expect, again, there's levels of a likeliness. I think Geno is super likely. Maybe the most likely.
Actually, I forgot how much I believed you on that, because with them taking out the Geno Mii costume so far, and there was a couple of other hints that I forget.
They had the
thing.
What
else was there?
The big thing was the music tracks taken down by Nintendo. Like they got a copyright strike off of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 tracks, and that was fairly recent. And this is actually adding to that. Apparently, I need to look this up for sure, but someone told me that Megalovania, the Undertale song that came with the Sans costume, I guess that got a copyright strike from Nintendo a few months ago or something.
Huh.
And it showed up in Smash. So very likely that those.
If I see Geno appear, then that kind of confirms a lot of speculation and future speculation, or speculation and things to look out for, like if Nintendo starts copyright striking music,
right?
Keep an eye out for that. If they, certain trends that we saw from picking out if Geno, assuming he makes it in, whatever was our whatever speculation led to that, like, the Mii costume disappearing and stuff, could potentially down the line mean, that could be character. I can't figure out how to say it, but you know what I'm saying.
we have a.
I feel so dumb for not knowing how to say that.
We have a history of what has happened before for characters. That if a pattern shows up for another character, that's really good evidence for them getting in Smash.
Yeah.
I do think so. Geno, I think, is very likely. I do agree. I think spirits being upgraded is probably more likely than assist trophies, but again, I think anything could happen, and probably also more likely than Mii costumes that we've gotten. But could still happen, because all the Mii costumes happened after the base game. So it's about time during development when something happened, and I feel like making a character an assist trophy was more of a definitive decision on what that character's role should be than a spirit. So I think they're a little lower, but again, could happen. So as far as more third parties, I think it's possible. As far as first party Nintendos, I think first party characters won't happen in this Fighters Pass, but like Bandana Waddle Dee or Dixie Kong could definitely happen, and Echo Fighters. I think Dixie Kong talked about being an Echo Fighter. Sakurai said no Echo Fighters would be in the past.
As far as we know, there's still only 10 extra slots, right?
Yeah, but those are like 10 dummy slots, and I don't know how coding works. It's very well they could add more slots.
Because I think there used to be more, and then it went down, right?
No, so this is what it was. There was 30, I think, on the character select screen, and 16 on the World of Light, somewhere in the World of Light thing. And the 16 is counting Piranha Plant, and then the 5 Fighter Pass, which then gives us 10 more after that. So there's only 10 more for World of Light. And if Sakurai's going to give us more DLC, it's also possible the further DLC characters won't have a Spirit Board, or maybe they won't be able to be used in World of Light, or maybe...
Yeah, I'm fine with just like a drop of a character.
Right, they might not
like
get
Piranha Plant didn't have... Well, I mean, he wasn't third party, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm fine with not having a Spirit Board selection. It's cool, I like it, and it's cool to say, oh, I got more spirits, but I think the most important thing that everyone cares about is the character.
Right, just the playable character. Like, if we got Bandana Waddle Dee, who I know a lot of people really wanted, seemed very likely to me, very popular in Japan, but didn't happen, I could totally see being a DLC character here, but just no stage, no music, nothing with World of Light. Maybe you could play him in World of Light, but, nothing really significant happening there. But you just get the character, and I think people would be totally fine with that, so...
Is that what they did in the past for Wii U? Oh, no, they came with levels, too.
They came with stages and music. There just was no World of Light.
But those characters...
Maybe they had trophies, because there was, trophies.
No, wait. I think the only characters that came with stages were the ones that were from series that weren't represented yet, right?
Yeah. As far as I remember.
Roy didn't come with a Fire Emblem stage, right?
There was... What?
Roy didn't come with a Fire Emblem stage, right?
I don't think so. There was the Ryu stage, Bayonetta stage, and Cloud stage, but then there were other, the Mario Maker stage and the what was it, what was the Wii U's online thing where you chatted with people?
Miiverse?
Miiverse, yeah, there was a Miiverse stage. Yeah, I couldn't think of the name of it.
I want that back. It was
it was a cool stage. But yeah, they had DLC stages like that show up.
Yeah, I remember.
But they weren't for characters, so I could see that happening too. I could also see us getting just a stage DLC that has, doesn't have a character associated with it. It's kind of just open. I feel like Sakurai pretty much announced that he is open to just continuing Ultimate for as long as he can because of what Ultimate is. It's, something he's never going to be able to do. So, I mean, he said something about Home Run Contest being the last mode, but he also said
most likely or something.
Yeah, he said pretty much the last mode, or most likely the last mode. So I feel like that's him kind of just saying, it's the last mode I had planned for the Fighters Pass, but since I'm just going to continue DLC, perhaps I'll make more in the future.
Yeah, it was kind of as of right now, it's the last.
Yeah. So I feel like
don't have any intention of making any more.
Right.
But
so
I can't confirm it because I don't want to eat my own words down the line.
Right, and I feel like that's pretty much the where Sakurai's mindset is with all of this. That's probably a good indication of where it is, which is kind of just, I'm going to give you more. I'm not sure what that looks like yet.
I feel like the mindset is, let's finish this Fighter Pass and let's take it from there.
Yeah, exactly, and
I love that.
Yeah, and we have decided, either because of the sales of the Fighter Pass or because of Sakurai's own passion for what this game can be and wanting to take it to its fullest, or just fan demand, whatever it is that pushed it over the edge, it has gone over the edge into the territory of let's just keep this going as long as we can, which is probably the best case scenario we could have gotten. So,
I wonder if that means we'll get Goku.
So as far as Sakurai breaking fan rules, I think the one rule Sakurai has said himself was that characters have to originate from video games.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that rule too.
I would rather him keep that rule. And here's the thing: I'm a fan of Dragon Ball Z, and there's some characters that I honestly would think would be cool in Smash. Tony Hawk, because I love the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. I would love to have them represented in Smash. Would be such a cool character in my opinion. But there's another smarter.
Wasn't James Bond considered once before?
Yes, James Bond was considered, and like I love GoldenEye 007, so I kind of could get behind that. But like, there's another smarter part of me that feels like once you open that, then it's just like, well, if you have Goku, have Darth Vader, and have Mickey Mouse, and and then it's like, well, I want this video game character, and now it's just a game about characters, and it changes what it is. So I think that's the one rule that should probably stick.
You think we'll ever get a playable Tetris block?
Sorry, what?
Do you think we'll ever get a playable Tetris block?
I would be cool with that. I wanted I totally want a puzzle game rep. We have Dr. Mario kind of doing that, but I wanted Lip from Panel Depon, or I know people have talked about, I think her name's Arl from Puyo Puyo.
I don't know how
I'd be cool with a character like that.
Something.
Yeah, or just a Tetris block would be cool too.
I love Puyo Puyo, so I think Harley would be awesome.
Is Arlie? Not. I thought it was
I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know.
And
Arlie,
then
maybe. I'm trying to imagine how it would be written out in like Japanese.
yes, I think it's Arle.
Arude, maybe.
Arle.
Arude.
Arle.
That's why I'm guessing Arle, because I'm wondering if the kanji is like Arude. And
Yeah,
I don't know.
they don't have L, so it's like
L and R are the same. And there's always like a vowel between consonants. So
right, so it's probably
why,
like,
and I think there's a rule of always ending on a vowel.
Yeah.
So I can imagine it like Arude.
it's probably you're
That's
probably
just a
pronouncing it
guess.
right. What that translates to how you would pronounce your name elsewhere, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about it, just because it just speculation is so open right now. We could literally just bring up any character and be like, "Yep," and talk about it. So,
Smash open season.
yeah, basically.
Well, one thing we didn't talk about was this fighter, Banjo. Thoughts on him, his stage, his music.
So I got a bunch of the music tracks that I wanted for Banjo. I think I got every stage from Banjo-Kazooie that I wanted, except for Click Clock Wood didn't get a track. But I wrote down which stages I really wanted, and it was Mumbo Mountain, Treasure Trove Cove, Gobi Valley, Freeze Easy Peak, and then I think Click Clock Wood. And we got all those except for Click Clock Wood. So Famous Title Theme was another one I wanted.
I have one disappointment with the music.
I may have the same one.
We didn't get the final battle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, mine's different. I
What
was
is it?
disappointed that we didn't get anything from Diddy Kong Racing. I wanted a Diddy Kong Racing track with them. I thought that would have
I
been
guess
cool.
they probably wanted to stick to Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, I get that. It was just that's the game he first showed up in.
Yeah.
So like opening Diddy Kong Racing track would have been really cool to get, but I get it.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
Dixie
in
Kong
terms of
shows up,
Banjo,
we'll get something.
in terms of Banjo-Kazooie, though, I think that we really should have had the final battle, and it didn't even need a remix. Like,
Yes,
just the
I
final
agree.
battle with Gruntilda is great music to like have a showdown with.
It's perfect Smash music. I'm surprised they didn't. They have Verse Klungo, which I thought
Klungo,
maybe.
they did a remix for, and then they have Mr. Patch and Lord Mufakfak.
Yeah.
And those, I think, were the originals. I think that there's three originals. There's Freeze Easy Peak.
Yep.
Versus...
Which I'm glad they kept the original, because I like the original. I like all the original Banjo music, and I was afraid that they were all going to be remixed. Not that I don't like remixes, but I do like, the classic music in there. And Freeze Easy is one of my favorites, so I was really happy that got the original track.
Yeah, Freeze Easy Peak versus Mr. Patch and versus Lord Mufakfak, I think, are
the only originals. Yeah. Which is
and
cool.
they're fine, but I'm just a little disappointed we just didn't get the final battle music. That was like some of the best music, one of the best songs in that whole game.
Did I say Treasure Trove Cove? Did I skip it? Okay, I did say it. Yeah, Treasure Trove Cove. The remix sounds very similar to the original, which I'm happy about because I really like the original.
Interestingly, Grant Kirkhope didn't do any of them except for Spiral Mount.
Yeah, they were in-house remixes. Gobi's Valley sounds very different. It has like a surfer's theme sound to it, but I like it.
I didn't pick up on Surfer. I picked up on, like, I don't know, like something. I don't know what.
The original makes me think of the desert. The new one makes me think of, like, more guitar-y, more, I don't know, Surfer guy was the thought I was getting.
Well, they did have to make it kind of like battle.
Yeah. I need to listen to Mad Monster again. It doesn't come up too often when I click the stage for whatever reason, so I should go out of my way to go listen through it.
Yeah. So what do you think of the stage?
Stage itself is really fun. I prefer, like, semi-competitive Smash. So, the aspects of the stage, like, that it spins and the platforms and stuff doesn't really appeal too much to me. But the look of it, having Mumbo show up and, like, juggle his eyeballs. I saw
he juggles his eyeballs?
Yeah. I noticed it while I was playing. Tootie running around, Gruntilda flying around, the Jinjos. There's so much love put into that stage.
Yes.
It's a really fun stage to play on.
And I think Sakurai really likes Banjo-Kazooie, right?
It sounds like it. I mean, from the way he was talking about it, it sounds like he has a lot of love for the series. So
I really thought that they were going to make some kind of announcement of, like, Banjo-Kazooie being on the Switch. Like, when he was like, you could go play it now. And I got excited for, like, a split second, and then I realized it said Xbox, and I was like, ah.
I love that in that whole little thing, like, the cameraman or whoever was in the room with him, like, was laughing at his jokes. Did you notice that?
Yeah, there was an audience. Like, there's people in the room laughing. Yeah,
like, it was such a, like, quote unquote low budget. Just him sitting there.
I liked it. I liked it.
It feels more personal. I like it a lot.
Feels like you're in the room with him.
Yeah, and so as far as him saying, like, go play Banjo on Xbox, I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, and we came up with this idea. Because I know Rare Replay was, like, a possibility to come to Switch. It was, like, a rumor and stuff. So I thought of this. If Banjo got, negotiated for to come to Smash, and Microsoft was like, okay, this is going to be, like, the big Banjo revival moment. This is when, like, people are going to start talking about Banjo again. It's possible Microsoft was like, yeah, Banjo can come to Smash, and yes, you can get Rare Replay, but how about when Banjo gets released, like, you're not going to get Rare Replay on Switch for a few months or something like that. Because
that makes sense.
Because when Banjo gets released, we want people to go, I want to go play Banjo-Kazooie and see what this character is all about. How can I do that? I can go over to Xbox and play it. And Sakurai was like, you know what? I'll even advertise that for you guys. And then, let's say December, we get an announcement, Rare Replay coming to Switch. It's just like, okay, then Nintendo didn't get to steal those sales from Xbox, the Banjo revival from Xbox, but we'll still get Banjo on Switch eventually. That's my thought on it.
I would believe that because of the whole idea of, like, the Banjo-Kazooie logo being, like, used for like an E3 on, like, that almost poster or whatever it was, and all the merchandising so far. It's I can't imagine it only for a Smash representative. Like, they must be gearing up towards something. Yeah, I mean, even if it's a Banjo sequel and it is on Xbox and nothing's coming to Switch, I do feel like something Banjo's happening. But Rare Replay on Switch does seem pretty likely to me, even after this, mostly because of that thought of, yeah, why didn't they announce it now? Well, actually, I could totally see Microsoft being like, please don't announce it now. We want the Banjo sales. That's part of this deal. Would make sense. Yeah. Especially with him looking more like his classic look.
Right. People are going to want to play the old game, not like Nuts and Bolts. Which, it probably...
I will say, Nuts and Bolts wasn't a terrible game. It just wasn't a good Banjo-Kazooie game.
Exactly.
It felt incomplete.
Well, there was that whole... There's been so much talk about what happened behind the scenes with it, and I don't know what's true and what isn't, but I had heard that they were working on Banjo 3E. They showed a presentation of it to some, like, Microsoft executives. The executives, like, said, turn it into a racing game because we want to compete with Mario Kart. Like, you guys can do that, right? Because of, like, Diddy Kong Racing or whatever. And then left. And then they were just sitting there with a halfway done adventure game that they had to, like, to take these levels that aren't built to be racers and, figure out a way to turn this game into a racer. If that is a true thing that happened, that's probably why the game feels incomplete.
Well, I wonder if that does happen, we do get like Rare Replay or Banjo-Kazooie on the Switch, or however they decide to bring it over or whatever. I wonder if that means we would get a new game down the line. Like, are they trying to like feel it out and see, can we get this series going again?
Yeah, I feel like even giving Banjo to Nintendo was kind of, to be in Smash, was kind of Microsoft probably testing the waters to see how popular the character really is,
And I think that they realized it was popular.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were expecting the reaction they got.
I don't know either. I mean, it's so weird. Like I said earlier about like marketing people, sometimes the people on the inside can be very tone deaf to the communities and what people really want and what would excite
people. Makes you
people.
wonder why or how they got their jobs.
Yeah, I don't know how that disconnect happens so much, or how these companies.
It's like your job to know that, and you don't know it. Like, how did you get that job?
I would almost, if I was like in charge of Nintendo or something like that, I would probably pay a small group of people, just a staff on the company, to literally just be on all the forums, be involved in the community, and just find out what fans want and relay that information to us. Like, if it's that hard, I feel like I would have a department involved with figuring that out.
I feel like whatever they used to do in the past, they probably still do, because that's what they know, and it's disconnected from newer things.
Yeah, that's very possible.
Like, they might still have surveys and stuff, and it's like, but that's not how it works now, I guess.
Yeah, you can have like a poll, and like you can have the Smash ballot, and like 1 million people are going to vote for Shrek, and that does not mean Smash fans want Shrek, and like it's just a joke, or things can get skewed because of this and that. But if you're just someone who really, if you can just get involved in the community itself and just talk to a few people, you'll hear the same thing, repeated over and over and over again, and that's the things that the fans want, clearly.
Yep. So I don't know what's going on with marketing in these companies, but
I never know.
Some companies are doing great though, but even still, the problem is, even if marketing knows, the people in charge don't know.
Yeah,
and it's like up to marketing to prove it, and even still, they don't care.
That may be part of the issue, honestly. It might be like, maybe somebody like Sakurai, maybe the game developer does know what the fans want. Maybe the heads of the company do know what the fans want, but maybe the marketing department doesn't, or the financial somebody, or like somebody because it's a business, there are different departments. Everything has to go through different people, and perhaps that's where the disconnect comes from. Maybe there are people in the company that totally get it, but if there's a roadblock, because it has to go through so many different doors, eventually it hits a roadblock somewhere, and that's just the unfortunate truth of a big business trying to get something done.
Yeah. Pretty much. I don't know. So it's like the people in charge are disconnected from everything outside of money.
Yeah, sometimes.
And it's like, marketing, tell me, what should I do with my money? And then they're like, well, a lot of people are talking about this. They're like, poppycock! No, they're not!
Yeah, or it's the opposite, where it's the owners or the creators are like, hey, everybody wants this, and marketing's like, well, we did a fan poll and it doesn't reflect that, and it's like, well, that poll probably got screwed up, or your survey was, we did a survey of like all these people, and it's like, yeah, but were those the fans, or was it just a bunch of random people? Like, are they really going to buy this? Like, it can get screwed up, all over the place.
Pretty much seems to explain why smaller companies like and indie companies, or like startup companies, seem to really nail what people want.
Yeah, they usually get things right because
they're usually from the community.
Right, exactly. Or everyone involved in whatever the product is, whatever, if it's an indie game, they're everybody who is working on it is also involved in the community and has a passion. It's just better that way.
Yeah.
Though you can only make so much. You can't. You couldn't make an indie Smash game. It would be too small. You need all these companies and everything involved.
Yeah.
No, it is a balance there. Did you play as Banjo yet?
I did for a little bit.
Cool. What'd you think?
It seems pretty cool. I like it. I haven't really played against people much with it.
Okay.
I just kind of played the classic mode and listen to some of the music. But
I like
so
the
far,
classic
I like
of being all duos.
Yeah,
That was cool.
I didn't realize how many duos were in Smash.
Yeah, they came up with some that I was going through it, and I was like, okay, Ice Climbers, Rosalina, like who else is in here? And there's like Fox Falco, Link, Zelda, Diddy, Donkey Kong. I was like, okay, yeah, that actually works. It does work. I thought they were gonna run
I'm
out.
surprised we got Link and Zelda over Mario and Luigi.
Yes, actually, that is.
Because they're not really a duo; they're just two parts of the Triforce.
Yeah, they're two
They're
parts of
just
us.
two major characters. They're not necessarily a duo.
Yeah, you're totally right. Actually, I'm a little shocked that if if I were to come up with duos for Smash, yeah, Mario and Luigi should have been on there, and Link and Zelda was kind of a stretch, especially because they're usually a trio with Ganon. When I think of, what is linking,
And
no pun
and even
intended.
Duck Hunt is a trio, but
Yeah,
I
technically.
understand how he was kind of like Banjo-Kazooie in a sense, so it made sense to put him in.
Yeah. Yeah, but
So-
he's also the Zapper guy.
And the idea was to have partners and not specifically duos.
That's true. So maybe trios works too, because it's like, it's just
Yeah, but they're not necessarily partners. Like
Yeah, I don't
even
know.
Ganondorf's not a partner to Link or
Link and
Zelda.
Zelda. Yeah.
Being having a piece of Triforce doesn't mean you're partnered with those who have the other pieces.
Yeah.
But
well,
Mario and Luigi,
would've made
why
more
would-
sense.
That should have been like the final boss.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Master Hand and Crazy Hand made a lot of sense.
That was perfect. That was very perfect, actually.
I actually wasn't sure. I was like, who's gonna be the final boss for this? And then when I saw Master Hand and Crazy Hand, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
That's perfect. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing going in. I was like, okay, duos. Like, I was basically just like, how are they going to continue partners all the way through this? And they did. And it kind of shocked me. Yeah, I played as Banjo. I really like him. So the characters I've always wanted are Geno, Banjo-Kazooie, and Little Mac. So I've gotten Little Mac, I've gotten Banjo. So those are going to be my two mains. So I like him a lot.
So you
I'm
use
very
Little Mac a lot still?
Yes, he's still my main. Although he's just not that great. So I kind of have to have him as like,
I said, really?
oh yeah, he's like considered the worst character in the game. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, it's a bummer. Or if he's not the worst, he's at least bottom 3. He's the thing is, so Smash is pretty well balanced though. Like Mac can definitely win against characters. Like it's not like he's totally gets destroyed. You can do a lot of damage with Mac. It's just that he has a very bad weakness. He's bad in the air. And he has bad recovery, and that's just really
you pretty much just have to stay grounded with him.
right. And it's too much of a weakness against certain characters. And just if you're trying to win like a whole tournament, like you can't just play Mac and win a whole tournament. It's not going to happen. It might, but it's tough. It's an uphill battle. You're gonna get somebody who can just get him off stage and just knows how to gimp him. So he's very tough to main, because if he's the character you're playing all the time, like there's just certain scenarios you're gonna lose to. So Banjo feels way more balanced, way more of I don't know where he's gonna fall on the tiers list, but I think it'll be at least not the very bottom. He'll be pretty good. If not Banjo.
You think he's towards the bottom?
No. I'm saying he won't be.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying he's better than Mac. So he feels like someone I could main and actually like get good with and feel like I might be able to compete in a tournament with. Mac can still, again, this game's very balanced, so Mac can still compete at a tournament level, but he's more of a secondary character. Mac's the type of character where like you're losing to someone and you're like, all right, this person might not have experience against Little Mac, or maybe Little Mac will throw things off, or it's very different. So having Little Mac in like my back pocket for like a tournament is great. He's a great secondary main, so I'm probably gonna main Banjo and secondary Mac now, which works out perfectly.
Until Geno comes out, what are you gonna do?
Geno comes out, I'll main Geno and have secondaries of Banjo and Little Mac.
Really, you would put Banjo to your secondary instead of having two mains?
Well, I mean, I guess I'd probably try to main both Geno and Banjo. Ideally, I would have tried to main Geno, Banjo, and Little Mac. But because of just what I just tried to, kind of describe with trying to play a Little Mac full time, he just feels like a better secondary character. Geno's my all-time #1 most wanted. He edges those other two out by a little bit, so he would be my main, though I'd probably realistically play him and Banjo about as much and put as much time into both of them. Actually, probably lucky that Banjo came out before Geno, if Geno does come out, because I'll have months here to put time into Banjo, really learn Banjo.
Before you forget him.
Whereas if Geno had come out, I would have put time into him, then Banjo would have came out, and I would have I would have tried to put time into him, but I would have been like, but my main is still Geno, so I don't really need to move on. This way, actually, it worked out perfectly. I learned Mac, then I'm going to learn Banjo, and if Geno happens, I will then learn Geno, and if it had happened in a different order, I may not have learned the other character as well. So,
and you would have never touched Little Mac at Banjo, and Geno came out first.
I would have probably touched Little Mac, but if I had to probably order those three, it's probably Geno #1, then Banjo, then Little Mac. So,
well, my 3 most wanted were Banjo, Shantae, and Marina. And Shantae sounds like she might get in, like she could get in rather. And Marina
she's
sounds
pretty
like
likely
she's
to
never going to get in. Nobody knows about Mischief Makers.
Yeah, Mischief Makers is... She might get... Honestly, we just got, Gomon, Mii
Who
costume.
owns Gomon?
Huh?
Who owns Gomon?
Konami.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we got Gomon as a Mii costume from Mystical Ninja, and I feel like Marina's probably Mischief Makers could get a Mii costume. I could see that happening.
I don't even think it's that popular.
Probably not.
I hope I'm wrong.
Sakurai put some pretty obscure things in Smash, so it's possible.
Yeah. I love that game. I would settle for a 1-to-1 port on the Switch. Just port it. Even if it wasn't upgraded or anything. Obviously, it would look outdated, but I would settle for it.
Is it Nintendo owned, or what company made it?
Treasure made it, and I think they were bought by Square Enix. So I think maybe Square Enix owns it now. But
gotcha.
I don't know for certain. That's what I had heard.
If they continued to add we have the NES games on there, we have the Super NES games on there. If they got the N64, they got N64 games on there, I could see that being one of the N64 games, which would be a 1-to-1 port.
Awesome. I would play it. I would play that again because I have it on the N64 and it's not hooked up. I don't want to have to pull it out.
So, my question to you said your 3 most wanted were Shantae, Banjo, and Marina. So does that mean you're going to main Banjo, or do you main someone else, or do you not pick your main favorites?
Those 3 most wanted were around the time the ballot was announced. So a lot of characters that I wanted beforehand were already in.
Gotcha.
So those... I should clarify by saying the 3 most wanted out of the characters who had not yet been in.
Okay.
So now Banjo is one of them. Back in the day, Sonic was my most wanted. Back when Melee, around the time of Melee, and then when he was announced as Brawl, I was ecstatic. I remember it was whatever the time, I think it was a little after 3 in the morning. For those daily updates,
Japan time updates,
and so I was in my dorm room at college, and my roommate was sleeping, who was also my best friend at the time, and still is one of my best friends. And I woke him up to tell him that Sonic was in.
Nice. I remember staying up for those Japan. That was Brawl had. I feel like. Maybe Smash Ultimate at the end of all this, I'll say, had the best speculation cycle, but Brawl with those updates, and just Brawl was the first time, because Smash 64 came out kind of out of nowhere, and then Melee came out only 2 years later. I was pretty young, the internet was pretty young, so I didn't see much. I'm sure there was some build-up to Melee, but the only thing I can remember from Melee build-up is that...
I don't remember any Melee build-up.
The only thing I can remember is reading online that... Roy was coming, and reading that, or Roy was a character in the game, and reading that, or seeing a picture of Ice Climbers, and I remember reading Roy, and me and my friends thought it was Roy Koopa, one of the Koopalings, because we had no idea who Roy was, so we just assumed it must be Roy Koopa, and we were like, why did they pick one of a random Koopaling? And then Ice Climbers, I don't know if you remember the super old like flash cartoon thing from like super early internet. Eskimo Bob. Do you remember that?
Yes, I remember
Yeah,
Eskimo Bob.
we thought Ice Climbers was Eskimo Bob. We were like, why is Eskimo Bob coming to this new Smash game? Those are the only two things I remember of the build up to Melee. But it wasn't the same as then when Brawl happened. It was like a real, Smash speculation cycle, which we've now had the one before Brawl, the one before Smash 4, and now the one before and after for DLC for Ultimate. Yeah, so Brawl was pretty much the first one. But I remember when I remember watching those Japan Time things, and I remember when Sonic got announced, and when Olimar got announced, because my brother loves Pikmin, and I was in college, but it was like community college, and I think he was going to like middle school or maybe later elementary school, but I would wait for him to come home every day, and I would have the website like open on our computer. And when he'd get home from school, if it was like a character, I was like, this character came out, and I distinctly remember the Olimar day and the Sonic day because I was so excited for him to get home so I could like talk to somebody about what had just happened.
Wait. So you were home and your brother was coming home, or what
So
how did that work out?
I was going to community college at the time, so I would get home from like my classes, or certain days I like didn't have class, but he was always in school and didn't get home till like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever it was. So I would always get there first, and usually I would either watch it the night before, or because could stay up late, or I would watch it in my dorm or whatever, and then I'd go to our house afterwards, wait for him to get home from school, pull it up on the computer and stuff. So
Nice.
Yeah, speculation times are fun. Honestly, like the memories of that are really part of why I like ever did the YouTube channel and stuff too. Was just how much I love Smash speculation.
Man, I honestly one of my favorite parts of Smash speculation. Obviously not the full part, but like definitely contributing to the hype was rest in peace, Etika's reactions.
Yeah,
were hilarious, and I would check out his streams sometimes just to like listen to him chat about Smash.
Yeah, I was never super into Etika, but yes, I've watched some of his videos. Really unfortunate. It was that.
I'm not sure if we ever talked about it on the show. I wasn't I didn't want to overdo it because other people were talking about it, and I didn't know how I wanted to bring it up, or if I should.
Yeah,
but it was definitely something that affected me. I never knew him, so it kind of sounds stupid in a sense saying it affected me, but it did. I was really bummed out. I was depressed for a good week.
Yeah, I remember when it happened. He passed away, and it was like confirmed that he passed away. And like I said, I was never a huge fan of his channel and stuff, but I had watched his videos before. He's that big. It's hard, if you watch YouTube videos to not have watched something. And I liked what I saw. I just never followed him for whatever reason. But when he passed away, it was within the year of me starting my own channel and stuff like that. And in my mind, when I started the channel and started gaining a lot of subscribers and stuff, one thing that I was thinking of was oh, maybe I'll be able to meet some of these big YouTuber people.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get to. And one of the people was maybe I'll get to meet Etika someday. So then to have that happen, and there was this image that I forget the name of the artist. They made this image of all the big people that were involved.
All the Smash people.
Yeah,
you were on there, and Etika was on there.
Yeah, Etika was on there. He was one of the bigger main.
In the front.
He was he was front and center of it, and I was on it. I was I got the honor of being on it, and I was shocked that happened. Super happy about that. And I remember when he passed away.
You're big into speculation. How would you not be on it?
Well, it was. I mean, that was only a couple months into doing it, though. I mean, it was big. It got big quick, so it was just, it's still shocking to see myself on something with. And one of the things that made me go, wow, it was I'm on something that has Etika on it. I'm considered among that.
I always wanted to meet Etika. So
yeah,
it was also just because aside from how tragic it was, just to throw it on top of there, it was like somebody you want to meet now, you can't meet them ever.
Right.
No matter what you do, you will now not meet them in this life. And it's like that too just added on to the depression. I was like I really wanted to meet him one day. I wanted him to be on the podcast. I wanted to collaborate with him. I actually reached out to him, asked about collaboration. I think the only time he ever responded was when I actually donated to one of his streams and said, I said something like, if you want to do a voice for one of my characters on my motion comic or something, and he told me to email him, but he never got back to it, and I'm pretty sure it's because of how busy
he probably gets
so he's just. I was not offended in any way. I know people are busy. I'm never offended when somebody's obviously busy, but it's just like that. Also, was one of the things that contributed to hitting me that week. I was like, here's somebody I looked up to and wanted to meet and collaborate with, and it's like that's never gonna happen now. And so that was sad too.
No, totally. Because that's very similar to how I felt about it, which was just like, I'd never been super into him or anything, but I knew of him. I definitely liked what I saw from him, and I thought, especially seeing myself in that poster, I was like, maybe someday I'll get to talk to him, and that was just always that was on my mind that reality was potentially forming in the future. Yeah. And then just to hear about what happened to him, and I also just know I don't know, the community can be really hard. The internet can be really harsh. Mm-hmm. I'd also just kind of experienced that for the first time, seeing, my name just out there and people having opinions about me and the YouTube channel and stuff. It's harsh, and I felt for him. I felt like, yeah, man, that stuff can get to you. It really can. So it's sad. It's very sad to lose him in the community. Yeah. And I felt like because I had never met him, I wasn't super big fan or anything. I know a lot of YouTubers made videos about it or something. I didn't say anything. I made one tweet just saying, he'll be missed and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I hope his family's doing good and stuff. But I just felt it wasn't really my place. But it was sad to lose him.
That's kind of how I felt too. That's also why I didn't really say anything. I didn't know him or any of that stuff. I was a fan of him. I feel like I might have spoken about it on the show once before. But that's kind of why, I didn't do anything about it. And also, I didn't have a big following, so it's kind of whoever was going to hear me probably already heard it from a bunch of other people already. Yeah,
that's how I felt, too. Just that, whatever I did was just going to be arbitrary. So, I made a tweet. And said something about it. I think I said something about that piece of artwork that had us both on it, because that was about the biggest, connection I had to him. Mm-hmm. But it is sad, and I do hope that just, from his passing, maybe some good can come out of it with, mental health being taken more seriously.
Yeah, I really hope so, too.
Yeah, maybe people can be a little more kinder to people on YouTube or people on Twitch or people, these people that put their name out there, do this stuff, putting themselves out there for entertainment and stuff like that. I know there's some weird hostile bitterness against it. There's a backlash. As much as a lot of people love.
I wonder if it stems from jealousy too.
There's definitely a jealousy element to it. But whatever that backlash is, I do hope people can maybe take. There is a real person on the other side of that screen. Mm-hmm. Take it a little more seriously and be kinder to that person. And what they're doing for everyone it's work, and it's tough, and it wears on you mentally and stuff. And
I will say that it is difficult sometimes to tell when something's no longer a joke. So especially when things are kind of the way you say things are lost through text. So when mix that in with just not knowing what the other person is going through or how they're feeling about something. It's like in real life when you're joking around with your friend and you get a better understanding of when to stop because you're there, you see how they're reacting.
Yeah,
but when you
when you can drop that comment or that joke and walk away and not see the person react immediately, you kind of get lost. Like that feeling, that understanding how the person reacts gets lost in translation, sort of. And when you see other people doing it, you kind of feel like, oh, hey, it's okay because we're all in on this joke. And you kind of forget that it's not based on what those people think. It's based on who you're, talking about. And it's like that just all gets lost and isn't necessarily... I mean, it's a shame. Hold on a second, I dropped something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame. It's not always, like, done maliciously. Some people, I'm sure, do it maliciously, but it's not always done maliciously, and then it turns out that way. So.
I feel like, I mean, what you're getting at basically is the anonymity of the internet and just the openness to post anything, say anything, has created this certain demeanor or style to how people say things online. People will just speak a harsh, blunt comment without thinking anything of it in a way that they would never do in real life.
Yeah.
And some people, push it forward and actually go out of their way to troll and be as rude as possible. It's just become this internet thing. And when you're so engrossed in the internet in the way that I feel Etika was, and I don't know if that's all that was, what was giving him whatever anxiety or mental issues he was having, but I'm sure it added to it.
Yeah.
The internet is just really harsh, and it's tough. I hope people can be a little kinder in the future in that format, but you also have to kind of take yourself and step back from it and realize, like what you were saying, that when you drop something on the internet, it's not necessarily the same as when you say it in real life. So
even if it's intended to be like that, it might or won't have the same effect.
Right, or that person that wrote whatever that was that you heard, if you were in the same room with them, they would not be able to say it, or you would be able to say something back to that. Like, there's so much, you can't let it hurt you too much,
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully people will start, just because the internet is becoming more and more a part of the world and all of our lives, people will start, maybe not. I feel like just that early internet culture has not been shaken off yet, and if anything, maybe it's gotten worse. So, I don't know, hopefully people take it a little more seriously in the future.
Well, I certainly wasn't expecting to talk about that today, but
it
was still, I guess, kind of worth mentioning.
Yeah.
It's still good.
So, maybe happier topic.
Yeah, let's try to leave off on something happier, because it is getting late. I don't want to leave.
I can go back to Banjo real quick, because I didn't really talk about his move set.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm liking his kit. Like I said, I'm happy to main him. His side B is really powerful. The invincibility is like Wonder Wing or whatever it's called. Really powerful move. Gets kills at like pretty low percentages, I've noticed. I love that he has his back throw is like the spin like Mario. I think his forward air looks like Mario's punch. He's got some wing moves that kind of remind me of Ridley. Same with his jump, kind of reminds me of like Ridley and Charizard. He's got like a 3-jump type thing.
I like how we refer to him as Banjo, and it's Banjo and Kazooie.
It's Banjo and Kazooie,
like
but
her
it's just
wings.
That's always been an issue with the character Banjo and Kazooie. Trying to think what else I really like about him. I'm not huge on the eggs, the neutral B, but his down B, the grenade egg is pretty good. He's got some good little combos I've noticed. I love that you can bury people in the ground with one of his throws, and then you can follow that up with attacks. Is really nice. He combos into some nice things. I like his roll. His roll's pretty good. Overall, I think he's a pretty good character. Seems like he has a lot of tools in his kit. So once again, that's one of Mac's problems is all he does is punch hard, and he doesn't have aerials. He can't recover. Banjo has projectiles. He can make items like the bomb. He has recovery. He has interesting grabs. He has a berry move. Like he has there's all sorts of stuff going on. So I think there's a lot more we can do with him.
I like when you try to use the grenade egg after it's already out, and Kazooie just shakes her head no. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't. I'll have to pay attention to that. I noticed that it blows up very quickly, so it's like...
Yeah, I tried to see if I can get more than one out, to see what the limit was, and it's only one. So, like, if you do the input while the grenade egg is still out...
No?
Yeah, she, pops her head out of the bag, and, Banjo turns around and looks at her, and she shakes her head no.
I did see that. I thought you meant if you grabbed the grenade egg after you used it, because... you can do it. But yeah, I did notice she shakes her head if you try to do a next one.
So what do you think of that forward B? Do you think it's balanced?
Yeah, so the thing is, I actually have had some trouble getting kills with Banjo-Kazooie, and the Wonder Wing is one of. I mean, there's quite a few things that get kills, but it's one of the things that gets kills out of a handful of them. So it's very useful for that, but I don't think it's broken because if you shield it, they run past it, and then they're open for an attack.
Yeah.
And I've
Not
had
only that, but in a match with multiple people, it becomes a little more not restricted, but you're limited to 5. So when there's more people in a match, you still only have 5.
Right. Yeah, I don't find myself running out of them too often in a stock, but I'm pretty good about, I'm going to save it towards the end of the stock. And there is, that's one fun thing about playing Banjo I've found is that, every stock, I'm thinking about how many, golden feathers I have left. And if I have a bunch of them left and I have a ton of percentage, then I'm just going to be spamming that move because I'm just trying to, get a hit with it. Why not? Because I'm gonna die soon anyway.
True.
So that's been a fun element. I also do like using it for recovery. It's good for recovery too. So you got to kind of save it for that. Sometimes you have to kind of choose. Do you want to use it to try to hit the person? Do you want to use it for recovery? But I found because you can shield it and then you can usually get a hit on Banjo afterwards. I don't find it that it's not really broken. It's good, but I don't think it's broken.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, I don't think it's really broken either. I think the community also has a tendency to think anything
new
is broken.
Anything new is broken immediately.
I'm not sure what they think about Hero now, which also I realized I don't think I got your opinion on Hero yet.
I'm not huge on Dragon Quest, but I think he's a cool character. I love that it's a 4-in-1 character. As far as play style, he's not really the way I like to play. I don't usually use sword users, but the only one I use is Young Link. Not really a sword character, and the menu is it's so many moves to learn, and since I don't feel like learning the character, I have rudimentary knowledge of what does what. I don't want to learn 25 different moves. As far as banning him and stuff, because I know I think somewhere in Australia banned him or something. Yeah. I don't think he's not winning tournament. I mean, I haven't seen him yet win tournaments or dominate the way Bayonetta did in Smash 4. So I really don't think we should ban anybody who isn't, doing that. If there's a character who isn't really problematic winning all these tournaments, I don't think they should be banned. He has a random element to him, and he's more random than any other character. So I understand that he definitely gets wins. Sometimes by a flip of a coin.
But so does Game & Watch.
Right, so does Game & Watch. So do other characters.
So
maybe
let's ban Game & Watch.
Right, so maybe Hero gets it a bit more, but I don't think it makes him bannable, and since he's not, far and above the best character in the game, he's just, pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think he should be banned. The only thing that would maybe make me ban him, or be behind banning him, is the fact that his menu is written in whatever language the version of Smash you're playing is. So if a Japanese player comes over to America and you have the English version of Smash and they don't know the English characters, there's a disadvantage if I'm playing Hero or if they're trying to play Hero, or more so if I'm playing Hero and they can't see what move I just picked. Or what moves popped up.
Actually makes a lot of. I didn't even think of that. That is a bit of an issue.
So that's about the only reason I could say.
I haven't heard that anywhere. You're the only person I heard that from.
Bring it up. I've heard it brought up a couple places, but as far as I don't think he's broken. I don't think he's the best character at all. So I don't think he should be banned because of that. And then I don't think his randomness is anything new. Game & Watch is random. A few other characters have some random elements to what they do, so not that bad. But the one thing would be the fact that he actually you literally have to know that language to really know what he's about to do. So that would be my one thing. Like Shulk has colors and stuff.
Yeah, unless they somehow add colors to the menu.
But even then, it's like 20. Isn't it like 22 or 25 things you'd have to learn? Like there's a definite disadvantage.
They put like a symbol, a unique symbol next to each one.
Yeah.
Even still,
there's a slight disadvantage to it that just seems tough to do. I'm talking like, highly competitive tournaments that are international. There might be an issue.
Yeah, that makes sense. I am looking forward, like I mentioned before, I'm looking forward to playing Xenoblade Chronicles. So I am wondering if I'm gonna get into Shulk as a result.
Oh yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I've played some Xenoblade.
Because I fooled around with Shulk a little bit, and I liked a lot of things about him, but I never really got into him as a character, maybe because there was no attachment. And I'm wondering if playing and hopefully liking and enjoying Xenoblade Chronicles is going to make me start using Shulk.
yeah, possibly. I mean, it's a really great game. Shulk is a very complex character, so good luck if you pick him up.
Yeah.
But he's really good, so there's that.
So I actually do have to go soon, but
okay,
I did want to ask. I heard that somebody said that. So for Banjo-Kazooie, the vocals, it sounds like Banjo is ripped straight from the old games, but Kazooie is not. Do you think it's the same sounds from the old games, or was she revoiced? Like, I really don't know. And when somebody said that, I kind of noticed it, and now I can't tell if it's my imagination or not.
I haven't noticed it, but now I'm definitely going to be listening for it. I've noticed Banjo's forward air, where he like does the big punch. It looks like Mario's forward air. He does like a huh, and it sounds more like Mumbo than Banjo. That's what I got from it.
I do remember hearing Banjo in the old games kind of make that sound.
Yeah, it very well might be a Banjo sound, but for whatever reason to me it sounded something that might come out of Mumbo. But that's the only thing I've noticed with their voices. Otherwise, I like it. They sound good. So
yeah, me too.
There was something with I think. All the characters obviously have new renders on the stage and stuff, but I think some of the spirits, Gruntilda in particular, I think has a new artwork. So that also could be to a future potential like Banjo 4 or something. So or Banjo 4, Banjo 3.
Yeah, that's one of the things I was thinking about. And like that could just be Smash itself. Like Sakurai has a tendency to just make everything look beautiful.
True.
So it could just be that. But I really was thinking because, and this could just be me being picky, but Gruntilda's eyes are different.
Yep.
In the original one, I think one was actually bigger and like slight, and one was like slightly closed or something with the eyes that didn't match the redesign specifically. So I was wondering, was that a choice by Sakurai, or was that a choice by Microsoft for like a redesign?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know how much Microsoft maybe had input with Banjo's design in Smash, or once again, if there is a Banjo game in development behind the scenes, Sakurai probably got to see whatever that was, and maybe there was a whole collaboration going like, okay, we're reinventing Banjo. This is what he looks like now. This is what Gruntilda looks like now.
At one point in the past, I think a remake of Banjo-Kazooie was on the table, and I think they scrapped it in favor of a new game.
Okay.
I think that was... I don't know where in the timeline that was. I don't know if that was...
before Nuts and
Bolts. I don't know if that was during Tui. I don't know at what point, but at one point... I remember listening to an interview with someone from Rare who said that that was something they were considering at one point, and they just decided in the end not to.
Yeah.
So I can see that now. I could see them making a remake of that now. I mean, you got the Crash trilogy and Spyro trilogy.
It'd be the time.
So I can see
it being a hit, and I could see them seeing the success of these other games and being like, we could do that with Banjo, you know?
Right.
And then I could see it being on Xbox and hopefully Switch as well, and like that would be the perfect way to reboot that. Not reboot, but just like get that series started again, you know?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think getting Banjo in Smash here was the first time Banjo's really gotten something significant in a long time, is the marker for, let's get back into the series. If they let it sit for a couple years before they do anything, then it's going to be like, well, he got in Smash, but I guess they didn't revive the series, and now is the time to do it. So, with getting Banjo here finally in Smash, Banjo finally back, let's hope we see more from Banjo.
Yeah, agreed. I really hope we do. And we gotta keep up to date with speculation on new things. I really wonder if we're gonna get Ryu Hayabusa now, because regardless of those leaks, I still do think he just stands a decent chance at being a character from the get-go. I thought.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I agree. I don't know about in the future, because the one issue with past the Fighters Pass is that since so many characters are open, who are the front runners completely changes, more so based I think on fan demand and who's really popular. But as far as this Fighters Pass goes, I think Ryu Hayabusa is still like top 10, if not top 5, top 3 or something, most likely to finish out the pass. So, he could still finish it out. It could be Doom Guy, it could be Jill or Leon from Resident Evil.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I would love to see Resident Evil.
I would love to see Resident Evil, and I would love to see Monster Hunter.
Yeah, it could be Monster Hunter. There's a lot of stuff that could be this final spot, but I don't think Ryu Hayabusa is a lock the way I thought he might be before the direct. But he is still definitely, right up there in the running, high tier, high likelihood.
Because it seems now that what Sakurai's focusing on is not necessarily Nintendo icons, but gaming icons.
I also
at
feel
least for this game, at this point, like picking from this Fighters Pass, it looks like its focus was big gaming icons. So maybe going forward past the Fighters Pass, for the rest of the DLC for this game, that might continue to be the thought. So the possibility has opened to what are some big gaming icons,
right? And
outside of Sony, because I really don't think Sony's going to play ball.
They might not play ball, but luckily Sony doesn't own too many characters anymore. Like even Crash Bandicoot is the Activision Blizzard, right? So, but yeah, I feel like we'll
finally get Rayman.
Yeah, we could finally get Ray. He's a spirit, so he's right up there with Gino and Shantae as a very possible character. I do feel like with this Fighters Pass, one of the things Sakurai may have been focusing on is companies, which would actually bode very well for Ryu Hayabusa, because we don't have a Koei Tecmo rep. Even though Koei Tecmo is in the credits for Smash because of the Fatal Frames assist trophy spirit, or not spirit, assist trophy character. So I could see Ryu being up there just to get Tecmo a rep. I could see Doom Guy to get Bethesda a rep. Since we got Banjo from Microsoft, now we have Terry, who seems like an odd choice, but maybe that's just to get SNK on board. These aren't. We have Square. And technically, Joker is Sega because they own Atlas, but it's more of an Atlas rep. So I feel like Sakurai might be going to different companies with the Fighters Pass, and maybe in the future we'll get Capcom, Konami, Namco, more characters like that, or first-party Nintendo characters. But this Fighters Pass might be more involved with let's get even more companies in. I could be wrong about that. Just basing it off of the fact that Microsoft and now SNK are part of it, and Atlas, technically owned by Sega, is part of it. The only one that really is a double dip in a company is Square, but Dragon Quest is so big in Japan. I could see that just being, if maybe we're only doing the Fighters Pass, we've got to do Dragon Quest. So.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like there's other things we want to talk about too, but I do have to go now. So
that's totally fine. We've been talking for a long time, so it is totally cool.
2 hours.
Something like that. We touched a lot of subjects.
So, if Alpha's going to join us next week, we should have some more to talk about. We're probably going to overlap with the same stuff again. So,
So yeah, I guess we'll leave it on that. Anything else? Any final thoughts?
Nope. I'm just gonna go play banjo. Enjoy that.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna be playing Smash.
I guess I'll say this for anybody who listened to the whole thing or got to the end here, and did it recently. I'll probably make some sort. I always do this after a direct, some kind of like where we're at with Smash speculation now, and I know a lot of people are probably anticipating that because of the openness of this. So I'll make some video like that soon. Guess I'll just say that here for anybody who watches this, because I feel like it might take me a couple days because I kind of want to. I usually take a couple days to research and make sure I have found everything I think there is to say after what just happened, all the interesting theories and stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, that's about it.
Professional Genos.
Yeah. I try to make sure it's. I make mistakes. I made a mistake. A video like.
Oh yeah, you said that, right?
I said Hayomaru was coming to Tekken, but he was coming to Soul Calibur, and I love Soul Calibur. I don't know why I said Tekken. I do often associate Tekken and Soul Calibur together because like they're both Namco fighters, and there's some like crossover, like Yoshimitsu's in both of them and stuff. So I do like associate them, but I think it was literally a slip of the tongue. I was just like, Hey Mario recently got announced for Tekken, and somehow I didn't catch it when I said it. When I said it, I didn't catch it in editing, and I put it up, and then I was like, damn it. But oh well.
Wait, you didn't catch it while editing?
I didn't catch it while editing. The thing was, I was trying to. It was after the SNK copyright thing happened. I was on vacation. I filmed it in my hotel room really fast. It was only a 3-minute long video, and I was literally just trying to get it up as early as possible. And my family wanted to go to dinner, so I like only had like an hour to get a video out. So I just had to I did everything at like breakneck speed. I filmed with nothing. I had no not that I usually script the videos, but I like usually kind of outline them a bit of like this topic. This was just like hit play. Okay, so I just heard this happen. Copyright from SNK. Could it be this character? Here's why. Here's some leaks. I was literally just pulling leaks, out of my head that like are like. So it was very last minute.
Yeah. PapaGenos, such professional, even working on vacation.
Yeah.
So I guess that's going to be it. As always, all the links are in the description. And yeah, I guess that's it.
All right, later, guys.
If you're in the hurricane, stay safe.
Yeah, definitely.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. I think your dog barking, my phone going off.
We're professional, folks.
Oh yeah.